loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stasia Bliss. We are here having discussions and embodiment practices for our lives. Today the topic is death. My father, some of you know, he hasn't passed yet, but some of you know we've been battling some health stuff with him this year. And I could say he's getting close. He's getting close. And these are times that cause one to reflect on life, right? And in life, in the various stages of life, we must awaken to deeper and deeper truths, more and more profound truths. This is what this Kundalini is doing. It is awakening us to more profound layers of life, which includes death. And actually, there's not just one death process in this round. You know, we are constantly facing death or potential death processes, which we must learn to navigate. And if we navigate them well during life, maybe the one that takes you out of here, should you go that way, will have a little more peace. So, you know, you don't have to be physically dying to need this message today. Maybe there's a part of you that's dying. Maybe there's someone you know that's dying. Maybe there is an old way, an old belief, a codependency, something you haven't been giving your all to that you know it's time to shed. Maybe it's the way you used to eat. Maybe it's stuff. But there are these transition points, and we'll get to this more in the tarot series when we get to the death card, but it's always an applicable topic. And it's a very shamanic pathway to face this part of reality again and again. Sometimes we don't have to befriend death, so to speak, until we are confronted with it by someone we love dying, or almost dying, or getting near to, or ourselves being thrown through a dramatic loss experience. One thing is sure is you're not getting out of here alive. And by that I mean death is part of life. If you've never read Women Who Run with the Wolves, great book. Clarissa, her last name is eluding me. She talks about La Loba, the wild nature, the bones of us, the deep, connected to the allness part of us as the life, death, life, nature. It is our nature to go through these transitions. And though we don't often paint them that way, we often reserve death talk for funerals. But what's true is, and I've said this in lots of videos, there are continuous death processes. Sometimes we are in denial of them. Sometimes we, hate on them, or we struggle just to be done with it, right? If something's shedding, or we're losing something. But the trick to really benefiting and getting the treasure and integrating this life, death, life, nature, which again is the two polarities that we're merging in this awakening project. Life and death must learn to walk side by side, hand in hand. My dad was really squeezing my hand this morning, telling me he wasn't sure if he'd said goodbye to everyone. There's a need for honor and honoring the past when you really get to the edge, to make sure you've properly been grateful. And that's true every time we go through a transition. It is most potent and most blessed and nourishing to your essence if you can honor. And why ritual and ceremony, I feel like, is so important. It brings that element of the sacred even to the things which we're shedding. Even if we're like, good riddance, we're so glad we're shedding this part and I want to rip it up and put it in the fire. The element of honor, such an overlooked state of being. If you look up honor, like on Google Images, you really just see military. And of course, I honor the military, those serving in the military and sacrificing in that way. But honor is something we should see more of in life. And it's up to each one of us to draw that up from ourselves, from the deep well, from the humble nature. And honor is the act of acknowledging the sacred. And it's become trendy to say Namaste. But when I'm saying it, I really mean, I see the divine in you. The divine in me sees the divine in you. I honor it. I honor your transitions. They are sacred. They are holy. That's why I'm here. Myself having gone through many, many death processes to find myself reborn again and again. And that's the thing, like when you are on a spiritual journey and you do realize that this awakening process is really just a lot of death experiences, a lot of face hitting the ground, right? A lot of loss, a lot of suffering and pain because of what you have clung to. But every time you go through a death process, and I sense physical death is the same, you realize even though you went through that process, you are still existing. You are still existing. So your whole life could crumble, you could lose everything, and guess what? You're still there. And I have a sense too, when you shed the body, you're still there. You are eternal. Your nature does not go out. Why doing like emotional clearing and ancestral work and past life work is so profound is because we get a chance to tap into a larger sense of us, sense all of our experiences that we are bringing with us and the things that we have likely died to, either in a past life or an ancestor past, and yet that emotion is still following us around. We haven't made peace with it. We haven't honored it. I mean, stuff's going to follow you around until you honor it. Guarantee. So, in any death process you find yourself in, the best medicine is honor. Best medicine is honor. Honor the person, honor the past you, honor the old parts of you. It's fine to be excited to rewrite yourself and grow anew and stop with some of these old patterns. That's fine. But the honor is the bridge. So what's dying for you now? Can you honor that bridge to the new you? And remember, like the you know, if you're truly in a death process, if you're truly going through that transition, one of the dark nights of the soul that we experience, if you're truly going through that, it feels like nothing will remain. It feels like you're being obliterated. And it feels like a soul shattering. But to trust in the unknown is to ride that river Styx, right, through Hades and the underworld, and where they weigh your soul in a scale. Like, that's really an internal practice where you're like in faith of this thing. You're going through this process. You're being stripped down. And yet, in humility, make it through the other side. You'll make it through the other side. My words today are honoring all parts of this process, as I am doing with my father. Such a sweet man. I love him. So I dedicate this to him. And I reminded him, this is a magnificent adventure, Dad. It's not the end, it's an adventure. And your life is an adventure. Your eternal life is an adventure of ebbs and flows, of awakenings, of going to sleep, of waking up, of going to sleep, of bursting out, of folding in, of summer, of winter, of becoming, of shedding, dying to the old, being incinerated, forgotten, betrayed, of being brought home and loved. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I send you lots of love to wherever you are going through this process in your life. I'll see you back here again